This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. We keeping a foot on the what? On the Knicks. We keeping a foot on the what? On the Knicks. We got to talk about it, man. Kendrick Perkins, Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks, Steven from freaking Django. This guy's doing everything in his power to try to separate Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now we get it. Kyrie Irving is basically, rebelling against the fact that he doesn't want to get vaccinated for COVID-19. That's his preference. That's his prerogative. There's such a thing called HIPAA. If a person does not want to get vaccinated, that's up to them to solely not get vaccinated. Those of us that choose to get vaccinated, we get vaccinated. It is what it is. But you can't sit there and force the agenda and say that he is a disruption. He is basically a distraction to the team. You're just saying that because Kyrie Irving has been one-upping you every time that you try to go up against him verbally. Every time you try to say anything to basically try to denigrate, to try to basically trot in foot over the Kyrie Irvings of the world. This is typical for Kendrick Perkins. This is typical for a Mr. Steven from freaking Django. This is typical of what an Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks would do. They will always try to trot in foot over their own brethren because it's the house nigga to field nigga mindset. Let me say it again. It's the house nigga to field nigga mindset. But you cannot think for a stretch of the imagination, you trying to appease, you trying to appeal to the emotion of Kevin Durant, that's going to make Kevin Durant all of a sudden renege against Kyrie Irving. These two have a very close relationship. They're very cool with one another. They know what the mission is at stake this year, and that's to win the NBA title, because they're going to be fully rostered up. They're going to be fully gammuted up. They're going to have a training camp where all of them are clicking on all cylinders, and everybody got a chance to see their 5-on-5 scrimmage the other day. And we saw a well-oiled machine. Let me say it again. We saw a well-oiled machine. James Harden in hellified shape. Kevin Durant no longer has the limiters of the Achilles injuries. Any knots, any basically what we would say remnants of it is all gone. And Kyrie Irving is razzling and dazzling. We see the way that Kyrie Irving is drilling, and they're feeling some type of way. They know what's coming, man. They're trying to do everything to give the fakers an opportunity. But the fakers are what they are. They are fakers. Russell Westbrook of Russville is going to bump heads with LeBron James. This whole nonsense that LeFraud James is telling you, well, I'm cerebral. I'm so very well cerebral that I will be able to figure it out. No, you won't. Because when Russell Westbrook of Russville doesn't get his touches, when he's not running the point guard, and you basically are in a precarious situation where you have to give up the point forward, you guys are going to bump heads. That is what's called the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat truth-telling fashion. That's exactly what's going to happen. So don't sit here and try to delude us, LeFraud James. That's exactly what's going to take place. They know what's coming. They know where Brooklyn is at. Brooklyn's finest is in the building. Brooklyn's finest, BK stand up. They know it's coming. That's why the Kendrick Perkins of the world, i.e. Lebought and Lepaid for Lagoon, is barking. He's a LBJ Riders media. He has to bark. But his bark has no fucking bite. Let me say it again. His bark has no fucking bite. Because when it's all said and done, bark all you want. Where Brooklyn is at is where Brooklyn is at. Biggie prophesied it. Vernon Maxwell confirmed it. And now we're seeing basically the silver lining of it, because everybody is fully rostered up. Everybody's fully gammuted up. And the Brooklyn Nets are coming. There's no stopping them. You heard Kevin Durant. I was too busy, when I was younger, trying to, figure out my game. And I realized the game is simplified. That's when you know you've mastered the game of basketball. When you understand the simplification of the game of basketball, because basketball is a simple sport. And those who played the sport understand the simplification of it. You cannot sit here and play a simplified sport like the game of basketball and not sit there and try to force it. If you try to force it, then what's going to instinctively happen is the game is going to run away from you. This is how basketball is understood. Those who at least have what we call cerebellum, a medulla oblongata, those who have a corpus callosum that understands the game of basketball, understands that. When you're younger as a player, you're chasing the game. But when you master the game of basketball, you understand it's a simplified sport, and now it's coming to you. This is what Kevin Durant is coming to the conclusion of in his 15th season. This is why he has what's called a quiet storm. Because the calm happens before the fucking storm. Kendrick Perkins knows this. This is why Kendrick Perkins is barking. Because he understands that the Brooklyn Nets are going to shatter the fakers. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat two-teller fashion. Kendrick Perkins, do yourself a favor. Stop trying to give Kevin Durant advice. Because it's on deaf fucking ears. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.